Watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for the news at noon. I'm Mark Hall. A highly anticipated new deal announced for DC and the Washington Commanders.
Promise made. This land has been blighted and underutilized for too long. And what our deal with the Washington Commanders provides is the fastest and surest route to developing the RFK campus, and not just delivering sports and entertainment, but delivering housing, jobs, recreation, and economic development.
Adam and Dan, no pressure. That was the Washington that I remembered. When on Sundays, everything stopped, everyone was glued to their TV or in the stadium, and we've already seen a reawakening of that spirit, but we want to bring it back. Now we want to bring the Commanders home with a new RFK that our fans will love, our opponents.
The team is headed back to the district. Mayor Muriel Bowser, Commanders owner Josh Harris, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell making the announcement that's still going on. It's expected to wrap up in just a few minutes. And it went into plans for a new football stadium to be built at the RFK Stadium site. D.C. was granted control of the 174-acre property at the end of last year through an act of Congress. It's a plan that the mayor has aspired to bring about for years in her time as mayor, and one that many Commanders fans are excited for. We caught up with a local fan to hear their excitement.
I mean, it's awesome. It's a lot easier to get to than going all the way out in Maryland. Easier access on the metro, easier to drive, just a lot closer. And, you know, we want to get people to go see Jaden. He's really exciting.
Well, the Commanders will pay around $2.5 billion to build a new stadium. There's also funding to bring affordable housing to the area. And DC News Now's Mario Corbone is following the story for us, and she's going to bring us some more coming up on DC News Now at noon. Well, the sun is certainly shining in the region for a lot of reasons. Meteorologist Damon Matson joins us now. Damon, we'll talk about football later, but if we're talking about weather, the sun is out for sure.
The sunshine is matching that good news that you just delivered right there, Mark. We love it, especially on a Monday here. Yeah, we've had some beautiful conditions. It's finally started to warm up, too, thanks to all of that sunshine after what was a chilly start to the morning. Behind that cold front that brought a few showers and storms this weekend, those temperatures dropped, especially last night. There you go. Yes, the district stayed up around 50 degrees, but that was the exception, especially as you went off to the west. Even parts of southern Maryland dropping into the lower 40s and upper 30s. So yes, we had that chill in the air. A heavier jacket was needed for a brief bit of time, but you can just as quickly put them back away. How about these temperatures now? We're in the upper 60s to right around 70, and with how much sunshine there continues to be across the DMV, these numbers are just going to keep on going up, and it is going to be just a warm, spectacular afternoon. There you have it, sunny as can be straight through the 3 to 4 o'clock hour, and that is going to push temperatures now that we are into late April well into the upper 70s, and likely some of us will hit the lower 80s. Now, there will be a few clouds by this evening, but nothing to be really worried about. It continues to stay clear and quiet as we head into the night tonight. Now, that does start to change a little bit with another front, another storm system starting to arrive on Tuesday. We'll time out when and where there could be a few showers and storms over the next few days, coming up in your full forecast here in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. Also breaking at noon, Virginia Congressman Connelly announced today that he will step down as one of the top Democrats on the Oversight and Government Reform Committee. Connelly released a statement on X saying that his esophagus cancer has returned. He was diagnosed last year, and he also said that he will not seek re-election. His term ends January 2027. And developing now, Prince George's County Police are investigating a deadly shooting in Suitland and happened at Bexley Place near Old Branch Avenue around 2 this morning. Police discovered a woman inside of her home suffering from a gunshot wound. She died at the scene. So far, detectives do not believe that this was a random shooting and are currently searching for a motive and suspects. With 3 men recovering after a triple shooting in Alexandria Sunday night, police are searching for the suspect and suspects responsible. DC News Now's Jean-Marie Sissay was at the scene. She has the latest in the investigation.
Although the crime scene tape and cop cars are now gone, there's still a sense of uneasiness in this Alexandria neighborhood, especially after a triple shooting that took place Sunday night.
I've been living here 35 years. It wasn't like this when I moved in here back in the early 90s.
Longtime neighbor Sherwin Lee walks his dog in this very area the Alexandria police had taped off after 3 men were shot Sunday night.
It's happened before. It's just that it wasn't 3 people. It was 1 person. And it was a couple different incidents. Incidences a couple years apart.
According to police, they arrived to the scene of the shooting around 10 p.m. All 3 men were rushed to the hospital. 2 of them had serious injuries but are expected to be okay. The 3rd man's injuries are critical, and police have no suspects at this time.
Well, of course you're concerned, but because I feel it was gang related. It wasn't a random thing.
And after this incident, neighbors say police should be around more.
Alexandria police need to have a more active presence over here. Is what they need to do.
Now, this is still an ongoing investigation, and police are asking anyone with any information to contact them. We're now reporting in Alexandria, Virginia. I'm Jean-Marie Sissay, DC News Now.
Jean-Marie, thank you. Let's stay in Virginia. Prince William County police say they shot and killed a man in a nursing home. The suspect, it happened on Saturday morning at Westminster Lake Ridge Senior Living Home in Woodbridge. Police say the suspect had a knife and fired at him. Police fired at him before the suspect began attacking a 91-year-old woman. Police say that the woman is the suspect's grandmother, and the woman was also struck by gunfire. Police that fired their weapons are on administrative leave. Montgomery County Police looking for a man who they say dropped off a woman at the emergency room after she was shot. That woman later died. Detectives say that this man is now a person of interest tied to the woman's death. Police say that he drove the victim to the White Oak Medical Center emergency room Sunday morning, briefly talked to staff, and then drove off. Investigators hope that you recognize him and the white Mustang that he was driving. The medical examiner will now determine exactly how the woman died. Again, they believe that she was shot. Back in the district, a police officer is in the hospital after a crash in Northwest. It happened at the intersection of 6th Street and Massachusetts Avenue. Investigators say that the front of the police cruiser was smashed and a second car ran onto the sidewalk after hitting a tree. That police officer was taken to the hospital. 2 adults in the second car were treated at the scene with minor injuries. The cause of the crash still under investigation. And 2 people were arrested after Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem's purse was stolen while she was at a restaurant on Easter weekend. The Secret Service shared news of an alleged co-conspirator now being caught for the theft and reportedly contained $3,000, her keys, and an official government ID. Secret Service saying the suspect was arrested in Miami and is linked to a pattern of robberies in D.C. They're being held on an immigration detainer. A new poll is revealing how Americans feel about the Trump administration's handling of immigration, including the case of Kilmar Abrego Garcia. It's been more than a month since the Maryland man was deported from the U.S. to El Salvador. While the legal battle plays out in court, Americans giving their opinions on the case in a Washington Post poll. Poll shows that 42% say that Abrego Garcia should be brought back home, while 26% feel that he should stay in prison. And the other 31% are not sure what should happen. We spoke to folks in the region on how they feel about the case.
I think that he got a great injustice. I think they need to go down, get him, and bring him back here.
I think that, he should be able to come back and have a fair trial if he is guilty of anything. And I'm not sure if he is or not, but it sounds like he was deported illegally or.
The Trump administration accused Abrego Garcia of being a member of the MS-13, but his legal team denies that. While the White House admitted that deporting him was a mistake, they're refusing to bring him back to Maryland. And strong reactions after 3 separate cases of American-born children who have been deported by ICE. Now, these children are American citizens removed with their mothers in one of the cases. The father wanted his child to stay in the U.S. but was not consulted. Lawyers say that these mothers had no opportunity to speak with them or their family members before being deported. The ACLU speaking out against these deportations, calling them an abuse of power. Well, with the instability of the stock market, many seniors scared to check their retirement accounts. The S&P 500 down 10% since February. Scared of incoming recession, many turning to the more stable bond markets. Now, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent trying to calm retirees, saying not to worry about day-to-day fluctuations. And the Caps are now up 3-1 in their first-round playoff series. They take down the Montreal Expos, my goodness, the Montreal Canadiens in Game 4 last night on the road. Canadiens taking the early lead in this one, going up to 2-1, but then the Caps came storming back, and the Canadiens never scored again. This game coming with a bit of controversy as several Canadian players spoke out against the officiating, the Caps dismissing the narrative, saying it was just a hard-fought match.
Bearing down defensively 5-on-5 is going to be big anytime in the playoffs, and you know, we kind of emphasized that, and I thought we did a good job of it tonight. Yeah, I thought it was, you know, pretty similar to the past 4 or 5 games where we, you know, just both teams have been playing hard, and you know, that's the playoffs.
Well, the Caps taking this one 5-2 and are now just one game away from moving on to the second round. Next game Wednesday night back here in D.C. The puck will drop at 7 p.m.